terrifying encounters with the paranormal real-life horror stories. There are moments in life when reality twists into something unexplainable, something terrifying. Some claim ghosts aren't real, that demons are just folklore, and that the unknown is merely a figment of the imagination. But what if I told you that some encounters with the paranormal are so disturbing, so chilling, that they leave even the biggest skeptics questioning everything? Tonight, we unravel real-life horror stories, accounts from people who swear they've come face-to-face with the unexplainable. Keep your lights on because these stories will haunt you. Story 1: The Shadow in the Corner. When Emily moved into her new apartment, she didn't believe in ghosts. She was logical, practical, until something started watching her. It began with small things, an unsettling feeling that someone was in the room with her, a shadow moving in the corner of her eye. But shadows don't breathe. And shadows don't whisper your name at night. One evening, she woke up to the feeling of pressure on her chest. Paralyzed, she tried to scream, but her voice was gone. At the foot of her bed, she saw it, a tall, black figure with hollow eyes standing motionless. Watching. Waiting. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished. Emily never saw it again. But she still refuses to sleep with the lights off. Story 2: The Phone Call from the Other Side. Daniel had just lost his mother. It had been a few days since her passing, and his phone was filled with old voicemails from her. He couldn't bring himself to delete them. One night at exactly 2:14 a.m., his phone rang. The caller ID? Mom. His stomach dropped. His mother was buried just 2 days ago. With trembling hands, he answered. First, all he could hear was static. Then, through the distortion, a faint voice. Danny. I love you, goodbye. Call cut out. Daniel stared at his phone in horror. There was no record of the call. It was as if it had never happened. But he knew what he heard. Was it just a glitch? Or had his mother found a way to say one last goodbye? Story 3: The Haunted Doll That Wouldn't Burn. Most dolls are just toys. But some are vessels for something else. When the Thompsons found an old porcelain doll at an estate sale, they thought it was a beautiful antique. But from the moment they brought it home, things changed. At night, they'd hear tiny footsteps on the wooden floors. Objects would move on their own. Their youngest daughter, Lily, started talking to someone they couldn't see. She called it Molly. One night, after hearing whispers coming from Lily's room, they'd had enough. They decided to burn the doll. They threw it into the fire pit, watching as the flames consumed it. But just as it should have turned to ash, it didn't burn. The next morning, the doll was back inside the house, sitting perfectly on Lily's shelf. They buried it deep in the woods. They moved houses. But sometimes, in the dead of night, they still hear tiny footsteps. Story 4: The Old Woman in the Mirror. Mirrors are strange things. They reflect the world around us, but sometimes they show something else. Jack had always hated the old mirror in his grandmother's house. It was huge, with an ornate silver frame, and it made the room feel colder. One night, while brushing his teeth, he looked into the mirror and saw her, an old woman, standing behind him. Her eyes were black, her mouth slightly open as if trying to speak. Jack spun around. No one was there. But when he turned back to the mirror, she was closer. He screamed, shattering the glass with his fist. The mirror was thrown away the next day. But every now and then, Jack swears he sees her reflection in places she shouldn't be. Story 5: The Whispering Woods. It was supposed to be a fun camping trip, just 4 friends, a tent, and a weekend in the woods. But something else was there with them. On the first night, they heard whispers outside their tent. Not words, just low, hissing murmurs that came from all directions. The second night, they saw shadows moving between the trees, but when they shined their flashlights, there was nothing. On the third night, they decided to leave. But as they packed, one of them screamed, pointing at the edge of the clearing. There, standing just beyond the tree line, were figures. Pale, faceless, watching. The friends ran. They never went back to those woods again. Some things in this world can't be explained. Are these encounters just tricks of the mind or evidence of something darker? What do you think? Have you ever experienced something paranormal? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy mysteries, don't forget to like and subscribe, because there's always more dark truths to uncover. Until next time, sleep tight. Fire. If you enjoyed this video, watch these next. Small Blue Diamond, the most haunted places in the world, real paranormal encounters. Small Blue Diamond, mysterious disappearances that still have no explanation. Small Blue Diamond, ghosts caught on camera, real or hoax? Bell. Subscribe for more chilling stories.